welcome back to my channel. I'm still alive, isn't it exciting? I know I have been gone way too long, but a lot of things happened at the same time that were all not helpful for me getting out videos. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Joanna Holden, and I'm an author of Christian fantasy as well as being an author tuber here on YouTube. I work mostly with fantasy and with writing series. But as I mentioned, today's an update video because I haven't posted a video in a while, and that's been a problem. Just to give you kind of a real quick explanation, right after my last vlog, if you watched that, you noticed that the audio was not very good at all. Basically, the audio on my camera is pretty much shot. So I'm having to borrow a camera to be able to make these videos and trying to figure out the timing for when I could do that while trying to finish writing Snow Dust, because I was on such a roll, I wanted to go ahead and finish it. It ended up meaning that I couldn't get the content out like I wanted to. And at the same time, I realized that the world building series I have been doing, which has been amazing, for me as a writer, just getting to go through all of this stuff, that it was way more in depth than I had originally thought it would be and was going to require more time and effort than I thought it was going to. So yeah, that basically all happened at the same time, but now I'm back and I am working. I figured out a routine for the whole videoing and editing and stuff with the camera. So the video content will, fingers crossed, if nothing else crazy happens, go back out on a more regular schedule from here on out. Real quickly about that, the next video to go up should be the next in the world building series. And then after that, there are 2 more videos in that series, but I haven't finished the material for them yet. And again, it's much more in depth than I thought. And I really don't want to cheat myself or you guys out of all of the amazing content that can go into those videos. So I'm fine with, like, they may not come out right after each other over the next couple of weeks. They may, be a little bit farther on, just because I want to make sure that I'm including everything that I can. Because that's the whole point of it, is to cover everything. So those may not come out right away, but the next one will. And then after that, I have some ideas for some really fun fantasy-based videos that will be coming out, shorter videos, much easier to work with. So perfect for the time of writing I'm in right now, the little season of writing I'm in right now. And now onto that update. So what's happening with Snow Dust? It's finished. The first draft is done. Kaput complete. I set it down, I printed it off, and it is sitting on my shelf now. I decided to give myself a full month of space from it so that when I go back, it will be with fresh eyes and I can see it more like a reader than like a writer, and I can see more what I need to fix. But ultimately, the first draft turned out so good that I don't feel like there's going to be that much developmentally that I'll need to change, other than maybe adding in some emotional cue points throughout that will better help with foreshadowing. But yeah, it turned out really amazing. Like, even the narrative I felt was pretty strong, which is a far cry from what was happening before with Coastlanders, so that was a huge relief. However, we do have some news on both Snow Dust and Littlehood in regards to their release time. Originally, I had intended to re-release Littlehood with a new cover and possibly some editing in September of this year, and then Snow Dust in January of next year. But I had an amazing, amazing opportunity to work with a cover designer who was going to design a cover exactly like I wanted. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better than what I saw in her portfolio, and I really wanted to work with this specific cover designer. And this cover designer did not have any more slots available in 2019. The very first one was going to be in the beginning of 2020. I had 2 options. I could do the covers myself like I had thought about doing, which I really didn't want to do, and just push them out sooner, or I could wait a little bit longer and then have the covers that I really, really wanted. So I opted for option number 2, which means that sadly, neither of those books will be coming out this year, but very excitedly, they will be coming out next year with amazing covers by someone whose work I absolutely adore. So that is, honestly, I don't really feel sad about any of that. That also gives me more time to work with these books, and I am contemplating right now putting Littlehood through a complete overhaul, like rewriting the whole thing. The more that I have been thinking about it and the more that I have been working on Snow Dust, the more I realized that I did not have a target audience in mind when I wrote that book, and so it doesn't really fit into any target audience section. which isn't necessarily a bad thing, except that I can't market it. If I'm marketing it as middle grade, it doesn't really read like a middle grade book at all. But I really would like the opportunity to give Little Hood a complete overhaul, a complete rewrite, and make it the book that will be an excellent companion novel to Snow Dust. The subplots aren't entangled, they're not necessarily in the same part of the world or in the same time, but I feel like they would make better side-by-side standalones if they matched in the narrative and in how they're told. So what's happening now? Like, what have I spent March doing, and what am I going to be doing in April, and what's all going on with the writing? Okay, March was spent largely taking a break from drafting because that was pretty intense, but mostly it was about plotting. I have a secret project that I'm working on the side with another friend, and I had to work on that. And that took up a lot more time than I thought it would. And then I've also begun the process for plotting the first of the YA fairy tale retelling books, which I'm trying to figure out when the best time is to say what that's going to be. But that is scheduled the drafting for that is scheduled to begin in June of this year. So I wanted to take, since I had a whole extra month in there, I wanted to take the month of March and just really dive in and get a nice detailed outline, get to know my characters, all that great stuff, and get it out of the way before I even get anywhere close to June. My plan for April is pretty simple, just keep doing the same thing. I will have a little bit left to do on my secret project, and then after that, I think I'm done with that. So that should take maybe the next week or so. So I'll be done with that. But I really wanted to get as much of the planning and plotting for the next few books in the fairy tale series out of the way as quickly as possible, so that once I get to the drafting stages, I don't have to take a huge chunk of time aside to do all the work. I've already done it during this kind of free month of April. I've kind of decided to let this year be my drafting year and my editing year for a lot of these books, and then focus on releasing them next year. So yeah, that's the plan for April, is just to keep on plotting, and then June is when I start drafting the next book in the fairy tale series, the next YA fairy tale. So what's coming up for Snow Dust? What's next in line for that? Well, this month, editing. I'm going to put it through a couple rounds of self-edits and see how good I can get it looking. And then in the month of May, I'm going to be looking for beta readers for Snow Dust. Yay! So excited. I've never done beta reading, so I'm honestly a little bit nervous. But I'm more excited than I am nervous, so that's good. But yes, Snow Dust will be ready for beta reading, and I will be posting a video about that as it becomes more ready, as we get closer to that time. So be on the lookout for that video. I'm sure it'll be swimming around social media. I'll make sure to post there. It'll come out in my newsletter, all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's really all that I have as far as updates go. Basically right now I'm in the plotting and editing stages for multiple fairy tale novels here, and I'm so excited. Snow Dust turned out way better than I thought it would, and just, I was so in love with that book. And now plotting this YA fairy tale retelling. It's one of my favorite fairy tales that most people probably don't know, and it's just so beautiful, and I'm so in love with the story and with like the romance that's involved and with the villains and with all the fun things that go on in a fairy tale. So all right, well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me here today and learning all about these updates. If you liked this video and you want to continue to find more updates about Snow Dust and the other books in my fairy tale series, then do click the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like as well. That will go a long way to support me and my channel. And if you click the notifications bell, then you will know the minute that my beta reading video goes up. So just saying. You can always go find out more about me, my books, and the services that I offer as a writer to writers on my website, joannaholden.com. I am on social media. Obviously, you can follow me Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as Pinterest. And see what else. Oh, and you can sign up for my newsletter to get these updates right to your inbox as soon as they come about. So yeah, that's all I have for you today, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you have an amazing rest of the weekend of writing. Bye!